in a series that I'm going to be doing for a while. It's Motivation Monday, get your week started. Just to bring you some things that I learned from last week. I like to learn about motivation, personal development, all these different things. I listen to all these different speakers, and I like to bring you the best of what I've learned from the past week and bring it to you guys so that you can start applying this useful information. So what I want to talk about today is about dominating the competition. So I've been listening to a lot of Grant Cardone, and he's in business, and he talks about this a lot. And it's really interesting, so I wanted to share with you guys. Alright, so first of all, I wrote some key points down on the board behind me. So I'm going to try and remember to get a picture of this and put it at the end. So if you want to, you can take a screenshot and remember all these important things so that you can stay motivated in your life and keep doing the things that you want to do to be successful. So, first of all, don't compete. So if you watch sports or anything, which you probably do if you're on this channel, you will almost always see a guy who, when he is playing the game, he is so good, so well trained that when he competes, it's like, wow, he's doing really, really good. Like Kobe Bryant back in the day, you just see him scoring all the time. He was that one player on the court, and you were like, oh wow, like that's an elite athlete, like that's an elite person right there. He just dominates. LeBron James, he dominates. There's different people out there, and they just dominate. They've got they've practiced so much, and they've studied, and they've done these other things on the board that I'm going to go over with you that allow them to just dominate in their field, and they just do really, really good. So you want to be that guy that's just out there, not competing, and just like dominating in the area where everybody's just like, wow, he's doing really good. That one guy who's just way up ahead of everybody else. So next thing I'm going to go over is training. So in order to do that, there's a lot of training that has got to happen. You might say that those athletes that I mentioned earlier are naturally gifted, which, yeah, there's an element to that. But Kobe Bryant, I've heard so many stories about him. His mentality about training is just nuts. I heard this one story. He would be in the gym for hours and hours and hours until he made 800 shots. And I don't know how often he did that, but staying in the gym until you make all those shots, it's hard to keep yourself motivated. So yeah, you just got to keep training and start with the end in mind is a good quote. I think that's from Brian Tracy. So I like to, when I get out here in the mornings, I mean, it's like 4:30 in the morning after I get done with my jog and I start to train, my muscles are still kind of cold, I'm still tired, and I don't want to do it all that much most of the time. Sometimes I get really into it because I like to train, but other times, you know, I'm just not quite feeling it. But then I start to think about my goals as a football player and being out there on the field and just dominating out there and being that one guy on the field where people are like, wow, you know, he's a beast out there. And then I start thinking about basketball, like I want to be that guy that just dunks all the time and people are like, wow, look at that guy out there, you know, really performing. So you have to work hard. Like I can't not train and then go into the season and just expect to be able to do all these things, my goals that, you know, like I didn't prepare for them, so I'm not going to be able to do them. So you have to train, whether that's, for me, like actually training, weightlifting, strength training, coming up with these different new innovative drills that I can use, or whether it's just studying. I also do a lot of studying, like you should do too, to get you better in your craft. So like right now, I'm getting into anatomy and stuff. I take notes in this journal about anatomy and different things. And I've got a couple of pages in here, but, oh, you guys didn't see that. I got a couple of pages in here. I just got started. That's a page. I don't have too much in here right now, mostly just because when I learn a new muscle group, I am trying to train for that. It's like, So then I take a bunch of notes on training, and then I come in here and apply them and see which ones work really good, and then I can come and bring them to you guys. So I'm studying anatomy. I've got this book. I study this strength training. It's got, right now, I'm in a part about nutrition. But, yeah, there's a bunch of different things in here. I'll see if I can get it out to you guys. There's a bunch of different stuff in here. So I study that so that I can come in here, train, and then I can give you guys the best exercises that I use so you can jump higher, sprint faster, become a better athlete quickly, so you don't have to go through all this process of studying and learning. I can just give you the best information. Strength training anatomy. Now this is a good one. Like I said, I'm going through anatomy phase right now. I'm learning a lot about anatomy and doing all that. So this is pretty good to go through and to help me come up with different drills that I can use, and then different stretches on my channel. If you want to find some stretches, you just go to my stretches playlist, and I've got a breakdown of stretches that are in this book that you can use. This is also an anatomy for strength and fitness training. I haven't quite gotten to this one yet because I'm more focused on the other two, but this one is coming up. So I carry those other two books around with me, and this one I haven't got into yet. And then this one I get into every once in a while if I'm trying to come up, if I want to, you know, isolate a muscle group, and then I just try to make those exercises explosive so that I can start to also train my fast twitch muscle fibers. So the point of all this is the fact that I study. I go back and I review different things that I can use to help me perform better, and that's what you guys need to do. So in order to, you want to have an abnormally high performance. So I am able to do that because I'm studying all these different things. I'm applying these new training techniques that I haven't ever seen before because I come up with them myself. So I apply these new methods to training, and I get fantastic results. It's nuts the results I get. That's what I want to share with you guys. During basketball season, it's going to be insane how high I'm going to jump. So hopefully I'm able to share all that because, yeah, it's going to be insane. So when you have an abnormally high performance, that stacks your team because you worked so hard. Like any team, back to LeBron James, when he was on the Miami Heat, and they just dominated until they came up against the Spurs. But they just dominated for what, those 2 years or something. Those 2 years, they just completely dominated. Like they hardly had any competition. You know what I mean? He was just such a good athlete, and he was so well trained that it was hard for people to just go and compete with him and that team. So you want to have that unfair advantage. Like I was playing basketball the other day, and I gained weight because I'm doing football training, so I can't quite dunk as easily anymore, but I still jump high. So I went for a jump, or I just jumped, and then I just shot it, and it was going in, and I was consistent with it, and I was doing it. And the guy on the other team was like, "That's unfair." And I was like, "Well, yeah, it is unfair. I work hard. I get up at like 4 o'clock in the morning, and the reason you can't do what I do is because you don't get up early, you know? So I just work hard so that I can go over onto the field and court and just really perform, because that's what I like to do. So in order to be successful, you have to make yourself feel obligated. That's why in the mornings when I'm cold and I'm tired and I don't really want to train, I think of my goals and my dreams. I just have a picture of what I want to do, and then all of a sudden I feel obligated to be out here and train and focus and work really hard out here. And that's important. You have to feel obligated, or else you're just gonna kind of slip one day, slip 2 days a week, 3, and then all of a sudden you've got like 2 days a week you're training, and you're hardly gonna get any progress from that. Mistakes. So over my years of training, I've probably had, 4 or 5 years of training. I've made a lot of mistakes, and those mistakes have been essential to my success because I learned a lot from them. I was watching a video with Grant Cardone the other day, and he said that if he lost all the money that he had besides $1 million, he's a multi-millionaire, he's got, I think, hundreds of millions of dollars. So if he lost all the money that he's got besides $1 million, what would he do? And Grant said that he would be able to do a lot because he would be powerful. And I had to pause and think about that. But he would be powerful because he had lost all that money. He had made a big mistake. And after you've made a big mistake, you're going to learn more from it. And I just thought that was really cool. So it's okay to make mistakes, and as long as you learn from them and then apply what you learned and just keep going. And after you make different mistakes and then you learn from them, you're going to have an opportunity because you've got more knowledge. And that's all. People need opportunity. So that's why I set up all this stuff in my garage so that I can work out in here and I have the opportunity to work out and train and post different videos on this channel that are going to help you guys perform your best. And yeah, so like I wanted to go to college and stuff for sports, but now because of my training, I thought, if I can become a really good athlete, then maybe I could go. But it took me years of studying to be able to become a good athlete. So I kind of missed out on that window for me. But you guys don't have to miss out on that, because you've got this channel and there's other good channels on YouTube. But yeah, so if you are an athlete and you want to better your athleticism, you can just subscribe to this channel. And yeah, that's it. Alright guys, thank you for watching today. That was another Motivation Monday.